When I say, who's the master? You say, no.
What is up, guys? Showing Off the King here, back with another video. You see the shades, you see the crown, and that's how you know it's about to go down. It's reaction time. What are we reacting to today? Well, we are reacting to the season finale of Death Battle, Thanos versus Darkseid. Get your popcorn ready, because it's going to be a long one. Let it go. So, I wanted to introduce you to Robe Summer. It gets cold in the man cave during the winter, so in my winter videos, you'll be seeing me sport Robe Summer. I got the show enough shades, I got the show enough crown. Let's get into this live reaction. Now, before I hit play and we do the live reaction, I'm going to give you my prediction. I think Darkseid should win this. Now, with the small caveat that I need to understand how Screw Attack implements the Infinity Gauntlet, because again, you're not supposed to be able to bring in outside weapons to the death battle. So it'll be interesting to see how they explain away the fact that Thanos has the Infinity Gauntlet. It's not something that's... He's known to be the one that wields it, but again, it's not something that's native to his being. So, and it's something he has to gather. So, again, it's kind of like Sonic with the Chaos Emeralds. Like, they let him use it in the death battle, but again, it's just kind of weird. So, maybe that's the route they'll go. But again, it'll be interesting to see. Without further ado, let's get into it.
Some spend entire lives in search of it, while for others, it is their birthright. But what truly matters in the end is how it's used.
Like with Thanos, the ultimate villain of the Avengers.
And Darkseid, arch nemesis to the Justice.
Now, just from my recollection now, do I know the exact in-depth stuff on all these characters? No, but I do know a lot.
Over a million years
and I know
ago,
Darkseid is not to be fucked with. He can go toe-to-toe with Superman,
the cosmic celestials arrived on Earth. They experimented on the human race, creating 3 separate variants. The powerful and beautiful Eternals, destined for immortality. Those with a latent mutated gene, which would one day spawn the X-Men. And a deformed, disturbing subspecies known as the Deviants.
Like that one website with all the porn.
What?
Anyway, the Eternals eventually colonized the moons of Saturn thanks to this science wizard named Mentor, whose collar's like the lampshade I put on my dog to make him stop licking his junk.
Charming. But while the Eternals seemed like a perfect people, Mentor's own son would change this forever and force the cosmos to its knees. His name was Thanos.
Thanos is, again, a force to be reckoned with as well, so I don't want to sleep on Thanos' abilities.
Sure, his mom went totally insane and tried to kill him right away, but what do you think you'd do if you popped out a creepy California raisin, baby?
Damn, he was kind of ugly.
The Celestials' experiments weren't quite so different from each other. Despite his eternal heritage, Thanos' large, disproportionate body and thick purple skin were thanks to a deviant mutation.
Which you'd think would mean everyone would hate him, but nope, the Eternals were
6'7", 985 pounds. God damn.
Thanos was greatly admired for his exceptional intelligence and creativity. He was set for a positive and decorated future.
Until he threw it all away for a girl. Hey, I don't blame him.
Is it
Lots
death?
of guys do crazy shit for hot chicks, especially when you're a secret murder-happy psycho who's obsessed with the physical manifestation of death.
To earn Death's reciprocal love, Thanos took a journey, a quest, to ravage the universe in her name.
And as an Eternal, he had plenty of superhuman power to do it. He was already the strongest and fastest Eternal around, but he boosted his power even more with bionic and magic enhancements.
And while his physical and psionic abilities are impressive, his incredible genius led to building massive spaceships, shields that can withstand planet-level attacks, and even a time window.
And the most badass
Yeah.
drone ever. It comes packed with its own laser weapons, light speed travel, and it can teleport through space and time.
And unlike
But can he really use that in a death battle?
Mystic arts. Petrification, curses, even some of his throne's abilities seem to be more magic than hard science. All of this potential makes Thanos an incredibly dangerous foe.
Yeah, good luck trying to hurt him. He can survive pretty much anything, including a gun specifically designed to kill him. He even shot himself in the face with it just to prove how goddamn awesome he is. Don't try that at home, kids.
He's strong enough to overpower 2 Thors at once, snap a universal weapon known for its extreme durability, and even lift the gargantuan Galactus engine.
A giant super rocket big
Now, it looks like, again,
According to Mr. Fantastic,
Thanos
the guy who
is a
stuff
bad
this thing
motherfucker.
is
So,
hundreds
you
of
know,
miles long.
I'll give him credit
While
for
the
that.
Galactus engine's size seems to vary from comic to comic, Reed's assertion matches its appearance when it propelled Ego the Living Planet. By examining the engine in 3 separate parts, applying the density of steel, and comparing Ego's diameter of 4,165 miles, we've found that Thanos must be lifting about 50 quintillion tons. That's like holding up 140 trillion Empire State Buildings.
Good
And he's
lord.
doing this inside the gut of a living Kurt Russell planet that eats other planets and even stars. Man, I thought I had an iron stomach.
But destroying a star isn't a simple thing. Any energy directed toward a star would just be absorbed and adapted to. Only
And that's
by
the thing.
completely
And that's the thing
nullifying
about
the massive energy output can it be eliminated.
That's the thing about comic books in general. Like, they have so much crazy shit in their back history. That's why sometimes I don't like it when they try to compare anime to comic books, because comics just has like absurd feats. So I almost wish that you would either use like a movie version or a comic version or just like a cartoon version, because anything we've seen from Thanos has been TV related or movie related.
He obliterated 1 billion tons of rock. This guy can easily break a planet with just one shout, and Thanos took 3 of them to the face.
Although Thanos isn't known for being a speedster character, he's still quick enough to battle the likes of Silver Surfer, a being who can cover 500,000 light years in just a couple of seconds.
Yeah,
putting
that's
him over
travel
3
speed, not
billion
contact,
times
not
faster
combat
than light.
speed.
With so many impressive showings, it's hard to truly find a weakness.
Except for one.
Oh, god damn it.
Thank you. Glad to be here. It's me, Deadpool, slayer of deathstrokes, befriender of ponies, and breaker of mad titan hearts. And like Casanova, the ravenous reaper can't get enough of me. Thanos just hates that.
Ooh. Well, Thanos did curse him so he couldn't die and be with her.
I know, right? He's a big purple crybaby. Have you seen that chin, though? It's like he got hit in the face with a slap chop.
Don't you have like a party in Ponytown to be at?
Come on,
This
man,
whole
you can't have
Deadpool
a
thing
death
is
battle
kinda
season without
whack, I'm
Deadpool,
sorry.
right?
We did. The last one.
Nobody counts that one. I mean, that's the year you pit a dog in a trench coat against a goddamn bear. What did you think would happen?
Yeah.
Whatever. I know when I'm not wanted. See you next year. DP out.
Okay, that was just filler to stretch that out.
With all of these powers and abilities, Thanos still felt he needed something more to impress Death. Think he's compensating for something, Wiz?
Oh, absolutely. So he built the Infinity Gauntlet, a golden glove which harnessed the power
He
of
built
6
the
multi-powered
gauntlet,
gems
but not the-
known as Infinity Stone.
Right,
With these,
okay.
he could control the full spectrum of space, reality, mind, power, soul, and time.
And with those powers combined, he summons Captain Planet.
Well, more like the destruction of half the universe, but sure, whatever. Steve?
Same difference. But wait, isn't the Time Stone the green one in Doctor Strange's necklace?
Well, in the movie universe, the Time Stone is green, but in the original comic series, it's orange. This is because every universe has its own unique Infinity Gauntlet that works exclusively there. And sometimes the stones are different in color. Here, just follow this handy diagram I made.
Yeah, don't care. So with all the stones, he wiped out half the universe with only a snap of his fingers.
Yeah.
But he also started going a bit crazy and began to doubt his ability to perform. Hey, happens to the best of us.
Yet it never keeps the Mad Titan at bay for long, whose constant lust for power and godly status in the universe is only matched by his drive to just kill everybody.
Yeah, well, let's be clear. The Thanos in the comic books is ridiculously OP.
All the same. And now it's here. Or should I say, I
But again,
10 billion
Darkseid
years
is.
ago, the
I know
primeval
Darkseid
old
is OP
gods
as hell too. I mean,
caused a civil war
again, if you can
all
go toe to
around
toe with Superman, you can do whatever the fuck you want, straight up.
No. Yes, kind of. The battle was so great that the result was an explosion that tore the gods asunder, sending a great god wave throughout the metaverse, eventually birthing a new generation known as the New Gods.
How original! Well, some of these include Alpine Space Skier, Fancy Pants Shakespeare, and this cyborg spider Humpty Dumpty. Half of these guys ended up on a beautiful paradise world called New Genesis, while the rest got stuck on an actual fireball called Apocalypse. With a K.
Among these damned souls was Prince Yuxin, and even immortality.
Alright, let's talk about Thanos real. Let's talk about Thanos real quick. So Thanos, again, luckily they're using the continuity from the comic books from both people, so I'm okay with that. But again, like I said before, that's kind of why I prefer them to keep comic book versus comic book and so on.
Already over 245,000 years old, and that's given him plenty of time to push the limits of the Omega effect.
Let's go real quick and go back. I skipped ahead a little bit because again, I don't need to watch this entire thing, and I don't want to waste too much of you guys' time.
He's working toward his one goal.
So, looks like Darkseid is older. Looks like he's taller, and he weighs more because Thanos was 7'9", and looks like Darkseid is 8'9". I know Thanos weighs about 900 something pounds. Darkseid is over 1,800 pounds, and Darkseid is also 245,000 years old. God damn.
Conquering all life.
And thanks to his new god physiology, he has incredible superhuman strength, speed, agility, and even immortality. He's already over 245,000 years old.
So that's battle experience right there.
Push the limits of the Omega effect.
He's got a whole bunch of cool Omega powers that break all the rules of nature. He can teleport across time and space,
Yep.
fly at unthinkable speeds, warp reality around him, and grow supersized.
Something he's pretty used to doing. The scale between the Prime Universe and Darkseid's own universe, the Fourth World, is vast. He travels between universes via boom tubes, which
And again,
automatically adjusts his
Darkseid,
size to what is
again,
considered normal within his
they
destination.
don't.
Otherwise, he'd have a hard time fitting in, given that the normal size of a new god is about the size of a star.
Yeah, they don't show any of this kind of stuff in Darkseid in the anime show because he just crushed.
And can easily manipulate sentient beings thanks to a cosmic awareness of the multiverse powered by 18 divine senses.
You know, I bet he never forgets where he leaves his keys.
Like a space-age necromancer, Darkseid can possess living or deceased beings, controlling them like
Damn.
puppets. He can even control basic inanimate objects, just like the Nomad of Nowhere.
Holy shit! Wiz, never thought I'd say this, but I might have had too much to drink.
But Darkseid's deadliest technique is his signature Omega.
So yeah, we got the Omega effect. You got the cosmic awareness, telepath, telekinesis, and he got his Omega beams. And now that's the shit that's gonna tip the scales, I think.
These burning lasers of hatred are capable of instant sharp turns and tracking multiple targets at once.
They're splitting up. They can do that? They're locked on us.
On contact, the beams can either disintegrate their target, transmute matter, erase beings from existence, or trap enemies.
Whoa. I didn't know this. So we got the little thought bubbles that pop up. And it says the Omega beams can turn invisible and phase through objects until reaching their target. They can also lock onto a target's atomic frequency, making them nearly impossible to avoid. God damn.
The Omega Sanction is a sort of life trap. Its target enters a self-contained reality where they live out an infinite number of lives for eternity.
Oh, that doesn't sound so bad. I'd just do a Bill Murray and use all those lives to learn piano or save a dog or... Yeah, that's probably about it.
Well, there's a catch. Each life in the Sanction gets progressively worse as it goes,
Damn.
including how you die. When the third Mr. Miracle was trapped in it, he was fairly unaware, until he was beaten, burned, mutilated, and castrated, broken to a point of intentionally overdosing. And that was just his first life in the Sanction.
Oh. No thanks. I'm good.
To overpower the multiverse, Darkseid would face some pretty steep competition. However, his power eclipses those of even some of the strongest heroes around.
He's fast enough to take a trip to the Source Wall in just a few seconds. That's at the very edge of existence. So, like, you're not gonna be able to map quest that shit.
The edge of the observable universe is about 45 billion light years away, and scientists hypothesize the actual scale is over 106 trillion times greater. It took a whole year for the legendary Helm of Nabu to make this journey. But for Darkseid, all of 5 seconds.
Damn, but again, that's travel speed.
Over 87 duodecillion times the speed of light.
Which is totally a real number that I understand. But if he's super big in Fourth World, wouldn't he have an easier time getting to the edge?
We're factoring the scaling across his universe as a whole. Besides,
this is absurd. This is absolutely absurd.
Than our own universe, so the distance to the edge is probably even further.
He's so quick, he can choke out Superman before he even sees him move, or knock him out cold in just a few bitch slaps.
It's absurd.
Survive supernovas to the face. Also, since Darkseid wasn't affected by the Crisis Mega Reboot, it's still canon that he can blitz pre-Crisis soups who can sneeze solar systems away.
Darkseid is strong enough to crush a lantern ring with ease, destroy planets with his Omega Beams, and wipe out the Justice League with a single strike. Even with all this power, Darkseid believed he could not dominate the universe until he discovered his ultimate prize. The anti-life equation.
That's it.
Ah, I knew numbers were bad for you. Take that, Miss Jensen, and your stupid ruler.
The anti-life is technically an entity of its own, a fragmented piece of the source from which all life originates. However, Darkseid discovered a formula which essentially manipulates the anti-life's presence in all living things, in a manner which definitively proves that all freedom and hope are meaningless efforts.
So it's math that just makes you sad.
Yes, and a slave to Darkseid, but yes. So the anti-life is pretty weird, but you know what's even more so? The Darkseid that you think you know isn't actually Darkseid.
Say what now?
He became the very essence of tyranny itself. This non-corporeal god rests in the higher plane of Fourth World, and molds avatars of his consciousness to interact with the multiverse around him.
What?
While each avatar is weaker than his true self, it's a necessary handicap. As his own...
The new god have been referred to as self-aware ideas and his body. What?
existence in a universe other than Fourth World would shatter the laws of reality, ending time and space as we know it. The sheer power of the Omega Effect threatens entire cosmos, similar to how it's...
What am I watching?
Counter an Oblivion bomb, capable of annihilating the universe in a single blast.
Holy shit! His avatar may lose some power, but it's still tough enough to survive a bomb Lex Luthor designed to rip apart existence, and a shot from Marvelous Marno's Master Blaster, which sounds like it was made up by a circus clown. And that kind of makes sense because apparently no life form can stand up to it. Just like clowns.
Except for Darkseid.
Well, Darkseid isn't immune to all guns. All you need is a neat little Radion bullet.
Think of Radion as the new god's kryptonite. Despite all his power, Darkseid is far from invincible. He's had his heart ripped out, his soul stolen by death, and his essence shattered by Superman, singing.
Hey, Darkseid, look at this photograph!
To this day, even after so many
Okay,
events,
they said he had his soul snatched or something destroyed.
Of Darkseid.
So if Thanos has the Infinity Gauntlet, now I see why they gave Thanos the Infinity Gauntlet, because without it, I mean, this is fucking ridiculous. How do you create something so fucking OP?
Alright, the combatants are set. Let's end this debate once and for all.
Jesus
But first, I need
Christ.
something that can sate my godly hunger.
We're in the...
Space, and it's perfect for gaming. You follow me? Sure you do. You're a forward-thinking guy.
At last, there it is.
Ooh, it's in 3D.
Thanos, buddy, how are you doing? Rocking that chin as always.
beneath my throne and kneel. Face death at the hand of your new emperor.
You know not the infinite wealth of destruction I command.
I don't even know how this fight would go. Okay.
Air strike. Made for the sweet release of death.
You first.
Alright, Screw Attack. I'm liking the soundtrack too. Why would you even throw a cab? Helicopter? Who the hell cares about that? I'm hyped off the soundtrack. Uh-oh, Omega Beams. Ooh, what? Did he block it at the last second?
I am Thanos. Thanos is supreme. Thanos is God.
Did he just come out the portal a giant? Yo! Yo! What? What am I watching right now? Oh, this is some Dragon Ball shit. I gotta take these off. God damn. Yo, Screw Attack. I don't even care who the winner is. Y'all outdid yourselves this time. Whoo!
These games bore me, but this will bring a smile to my face.
It'll have to wait.
Coward! Who are you? Who are you?
I'll show you. This is who I am.
Omega beams, baby.
Is he looking at us?
Oh my god, it's Deadpool with a gun!
Behold, endless day.
So you watching any anime?
Oh man!
Yeah.
The worst way he could have gone out was now he's gonna be dying over and over and over.
Yeah,
Thanos was an
that shit was
incredible
fucking
foe,
awesome.
especially while wielding the Infinity Gauntlet. Unfortunately, the gauntlet had a fatal flaw.
Yeah, that golden glove only works in its own universe, and Darkseid could easily move the fight to new ones with his boomstick tubes. Universe hopping is kind of his thing.
The Reed Richards of the Interdimensional Council of Reeds figured this out. Its 3 founding members, Reed, Reed, and Reed, each possessed Infinity Gauntlets, but discovered that they couldn't work outside of their own universes.
The gauntlet had no problem making Darkseid's avatar not feel so good. But since Darkseid's true form was always in the Fourth World universe, Thanos couldn't actually finish him off with the gauntlet.
While the Mind Stone or Soul Stone could potentially deduce Darkseid's true nature, the Gauntlet's powers could still not reach his true form. Also, in the Marvel vs. DC crossover event, that is the technically canon, Darkseid acquired the Infinity Gauntlet and learned of its limitations outside of its own reality. Okay, y'all was not fucking around this time.
Even if this fight took place in entirely neutral territory, the victor wouldn't change. Thanos' gauntlet wouldn't work, and true Darkseid's presence would actually just destroy everything just by being there.
But he didn't just lose because of the gauntlet. He really couldn't keep up with the space golem.
Even going toe-to-toe with a being as fast as Silver Surfer was nothing compared to when Darkseid took a trip to the edge of existence. This puts Darkseid almost 28 octillion times faster than Thanos.
And his Omega effect scales to the Astro Force, which could equal the Oblivion Bomb's universe-destroying blast. This means the Omega effect and Infinity Gauntlet were both pretty even in terms of destructive ability. But unlike Thanos, Darkseid can use his Omega powers whenever and wherever he wants.
Once he lost the gauntlet, Thanos could certainly survive star-level attacks, and even greater. But universal destruction is definitely a bit more than his purple Eternal Hide could handle. And even after that, Darkseid had plenty of ways to end the fight whenever he wanted, like the Omega Sanction.
Thanos was super powerful, but Darkseid was just faster, stronger, and even more ruthless.
And if you think about it, Thanos needed the Infinity Gauntlet to become a god, but Darkseid already was one.
Thanos just couldn't
Run the gauntlet!
Oh, you son of a bitch!
Screw attack.
The winner is Darkseid.
Y'all did y'all shit this time, boy.
Hey, thanks for watching.